In this session, we are going to see about the design of beams by working stress method. So let us see some basic definitions. The first one is modular ratio. It is denoted by the letter M. It is defined as the ratio of modulus of elasticity of steel to the modulus of elasticity of concrete. Next one is neutral axis. So from the stress block diagram, we can see that the dotted line is represented as a neutral axis. At this point, the stresses are found to be 0. So the figure shows the stress block diagram for a singly reinforced section. A rectangular section of breadth B and overall depth capital D. The distance D is marked as the distance from the top surface of the concrete to the point where the tension reinforcement is provided. The distance from bottommost section of the concrete to the midpoint of the tension reinforcement is denoted as a D dash and neutral axis is marked as NA. The stress diagram for the singly reinforced section is shown in the figure where the compression force is acting at the top of the section and the tension force is acting at the bottom of the section. Due to this compressive force, sigma CBC, the permissible compressive stress, will act at the top of the section and the permissible tensile stress will be act at the bottom of the section. The distance from the point C to the T is called as the lever arm distance. So this is a calculation for depth of neutral axis. So the actual neutral axis is calculated by taking moment of effective area above the neutral axis. The effective area of the concrete into centroidal distance. So from the stress block diagram, we have arrived this. So the equivalent area of concrete due to AST is taken as B into X by 2 equal to M into AST D minus X. From this formula, they have written actual neutral axis as Bx squared divided by 2 is equal to M into AST into D minus X. So from the stress block diagram, the force of compression in concrete is calculated. So in the previous page we have seen the stress block diagram. So the stress block diagram is rectangular in shape. So this is the x distance. Now we are going to calculate the compression force C. So C is equal to B into X into sigma CBC divided by 2. Likewise, the force of tension in steel T is calculated as capital AST into sigma ST. By equating the compression force and the tension force, we get B into sigma dash CBC X divided by 2 is equal to AST into sigma dash ST. From the stress block diagram, we have already discussed about the lever arm distance. So we have denoted the lever arm distance as a Z. So Z can be written as J into D. So J is the lever arm factor and D is the effective depth. It is related as D minus x by 3. Instead of x, we are substituting K into D by taking small d as common. So D into 1 minus K by 3. So we have written the moment of resistance with respect to compression C into Z, which is equal to Bx sigma CBC dash divided by 2 D minus x by 3. Likewise for the tension T into Z, which is equal to AST into sigma dash ST D minus x by 3, which is written as sigma dash ST into AST J into D. From that, the area of steel reinforcement is calculated as M divided by sigma ST into J into D. So the moment of resistance with respect to compression is rewritten as 1 by 2 of sigma CBC dash B into X into J into D square. Finally, the moment of resistance M is equated to Q B squared. We can use the notation either as a Q or R. So therefore, the formula Q or R is equal to 1 by 2 of sigma CBC dash into K into J. The effective depth is written as root of M by Q into B. Here I have written all the formulas. Neutral axis depth factor K is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus sigma ST divided by M into sigma CBC, where M is the molar ratio, sigma ST is the characteristic permissible tensile strength, sigma CBC is the permissible compressive strength. Neutral axis depth X is equal to K into D. Lever arm Z is equal to J into D. So J can be written as 1 minus K by 3. The moment of resistance capital R is equal to sigma CBC divided by 2 into K into J. So next formula is a critical neutral axis. Sigma C is equal, XC is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus sigma ST divided by M into sigma CBC into D. So next, based on the depth of critical neutral axis and the depth of neutral axis, the reinforced concrete sections were classified as under reinforced section, over reinforced section and balanced section. The balanced section, the stress will be neutral, that is actual neutral axis and the critical neutral axis will be equal. So the section is considered to be balanced reinforced section. So both the concrete and the steel will reach the same stress value. So which can be written as sigma CBC equal to sigma CBCA and sigma ST is equal to sigma STA. That is, the actual neutral axis will be equal to the critical neutral axis, which is drawn as shown in the figure. Next one is the under reinforced section. Here the actual neutral axis will be above the critical neutral axis, which is expressed in a formula like X less than XC. Here the steel will reach the permissible stress earlier than that of concrete. So here the moment of resistance MR is equal to sigma ST into AST D minus X by 3 and the stress block diagram is shown in the figure. So over reinforced section can be defined if X is less X greater than XC, then the section is considered to be an over reinforced section. The moment of resistance of the section is computed from the compression side. Here the concrete will reach the permissible stress earlier than that of steel. So the concrete will get failed first without any warning. The moment of resistance MR is equal to 1 by 2 sigma CBC B into X D minus X by 3. So this is a stress block diagram for the over reinforced section. Here the actual neutral axis will be marked below the critical neutral axis. So we can conclude that the balanced section is found to be more economical when compared to the under-reinforced section and over-reinforced section. In most of the cases, we design all the section as a under-reinforced section so that the failure will be minimum. It shows the some clear warning of failure before the catastrophic failure. But in over-reinforced section, the section will get failed without any warning and exhibit explosive failure and causes negligible deflection, so that we don't prefer over-reinforced section in a practical projects. We can design the over-reinforced section as doubly reinforced section in order to maintain the fixed depth. So usually we design the beam as an under-reinforced beam, that is a singly reinforced, but in some cases we have to fix the depth of the section, so that we have to go for a over-reinforced section. In order to make the over-reinforced section as economical, we are designing as doubly reinforced section, so that the reinforcements are provided at both the top and bottom, there is a tension in the compression zones, and the failure can be prevented. Let us have a look on the problem. The given question is, derive the expression for the depth of neutral axis, moment of resistance of a rectangular singly reinforced balanced beam section under flexure, and obtain the design constant KJQ for M20 grade concrete and Fe415 steel using working stress method. Here, from the given question, we came to know that the section is a singly reinforced balanced section. We have to find out the design constant K, J and Q for M20 grade of concrete and Fe415 steel using working stress method. So first step, the given parameters are grade of concrete and grade of steel. From that, we have to find out the characteristic permissible compressive stress of concrete and permissible tensile stress of steel. For that, we have to refer the table 21, which is in page number 81 of IS 456. So this is the IS 456-2000 from the annexure B, which is exclusive for working stress method. In that, we have the molar ratio formula M is equal to 280 divided by 3 into sigma CBC. From table 21 IS 456, we have to find out the sigma CBC value for M20 grade of concrete, because in our question they have given a M20 grade of concrete. For that, the sigma CBC value is 7. Therefore, the sigma CBC for M20 grade of concrete is 7 Newton per mm square. Next, we have to find out sigma ST value. So the sigma ST value for Fe4 and 5 is, again, we have to refer the table 22 of IS 456-2000, in which we can see the permissible stress for the steel reinforcement. In our problem, they have given Fe 250, Fe4 and 5 which is a HYZ bar. In our first session, we have seen the steel reinforcement as a two category. One is a mild steel and other one is a HYSD bars. The mild steel will be of grade Fe 250. HYSD bars will be of grade Fe 405 and Fe 500. So usually the steel have a property of tension. So we have to follow the tension parameter. For the tension parameter, we have the sigma ST value as 230. So we have note down the sigma ST value as 230 Newton per mm square from the table 2 of page number 82 in IS 456. From the question, we came to know that we have to find K, J and Q. So first step, I am going to find the neutral axis depth factor. K is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus sigma ST divided by m into sigma CBC. Here I have the value of sigma CBC and sigma ST, but I have to find out the value of m, that is modular ratio. From the code book, we have the formula for a modular ratio. After calculating the neutral axis depth factor K, we have to find out the lever arm distance J. So by knowing the value of K, we can substitute the value of K in J. J is equal to 1 minus K by 3, which is equal to 1 minus 0.289 divided by 3. We get 0.904. The moment of resistance formula is Q into BD square. So Q can be written as sigma CBC divided by 2 K into J. By substituting the value of Q in the formula amount of resistance, we get sigma CBC divided by 2 into K into J into BD square, which is equal to, the sigma CBC value is 7 divided by 2 into the value of K is 0.289, the value of J is 0.904 into BD square. After multiplying all the values, we get 0.914 BD square. Finally, we have calculated the value of K, J and Q.